Hi everyone, Mary from Ireland here on YouTube, Angels Love and Light on social media, and my websites are www.angeliclifeguidance.com and marysgiftsofireland.com. I will leave both links below. I have also got a Patreon page if you'd like to join me there. I will be sharing the ancestral healing videos on Patreon only. I've made a series of 13 videos and I'm very grateful to the patrons that have been with me for so long, helping, and every little helps. It's nice to get a monthly payment. Even if it is small, it's nice to get it because you could just be looking for €20, to get you through to the end of the month, and I'm just grateful for that. So I will be uploading one at a time over the coming weeks, not all together, one at a time as I feel the need. The 13 videos of the ancestral healing series. They are available through my website, €50 for 13 videos. Most of the videos are 30 minutes, some of them 20 minutes. There's one, I think, 13 minutes, but they're all over 20 minutes. And I go through the ancestral healing cards and share some of my own experiences of that teaching. Because I was just saying to a friend of mine, no stone left unturned. Like, I never thought that I would be digging so deeply, and no stone left unturned. Like, there's no job finished. I mean, there's no job being left unfinished. I just cannot get over it. And I mean, I've known this for a long time, and people would say to me, how can we have everything finished by the time we get into union? But it looks like that to me. I know that's talking the twin flame path, but my God, it's just more and more and more and deeper and deeper and deeper. So if you want to go deep, I'm your woman. I will bring you deep. I'll tell you, I'll go as deep as you want on any card that's pulled for you. So therefore, I am seeing people who still don't understand that the journey is about them more than anybody else. And they keep speaking about what's going on outside of them, in their families, with their friends, in the universe, and how it's all terrible and they have no part in it. They're perfect. I'm sorry to have to say. So I want to start with a strong card for this week, July the 6th. But I actually think it's not just for the week of July the 6th. It's for ever. It's for a teaching that will stay with you along your path until the teaching is done. And the lessons come back over and over again until the lesson is learned. And it'll come back in different ways. And it takes a very intuitive, understanding person of themselves to know that this is about me. Okay, here we go again. This is about me. I need to change the dynamics around this. I need to change the record. I need to change the pattern. And I will say to you, it's not, there will come a time when you come to, if you're tuned in and aware, enough is enough. Okay, I'm not doing this anymore, closing that door. And but it's a process, so don't beat yourself up as you're going through it. But as long as you know this journey is more about you than anybody else, you're sailing. So I'm using Sonia Choquette's Soul Lessons and Soul Purpose deck. Very strong deck. I'll choose one or two cards and we might change decks then, but we'll see what we get. We'll work through it as I do with my readings. I start with one card. When I do email readings, I bring in a channel message and then I choose a theme card. And usually that theme card adds on to what I've said already, or to bring in a new theme, and further down the line pulling cards, the first channel message will be alluded to again, or else that at the end of the email reading we'll come full circle and I just say, oh my God, there we are back at the beginning again. I'd be in awe. So they're the email readings, the face-to-face on WhatsApp mostly, or Skype, or any other. I don't know the full platform of these things, Zoom maybe. We talk over and back, and if I get a forgiveness card, I ask you, well, who is around you that you need to forgive? Is there something in the past? Is there something in the present? Is there falling out or a stepping back of in a relationship? And then we talk, and then we go back to where it started and what it could be that's pressing their buttons, etc., etc. So they're my readings. I am available, and they're all through my angeliclifeguidance.com website. My book links are there as well, my ancestral healing links, and I'm also doing a twin flame relationship soulmate set of videos too. And it's much the same. The lessons are the same, but I do share some of my twin journey through those videos as well. Okay, so won't be making them public, so they're for sale if you want them through my website. Cutting the deck. Now I'll have to go to the book for these. Accept disappointments gracefully. Last week I said it's very disappointing that I had to let that go. You know, it was one of my dreams, but it's not gone forever. But I thought it should be happening now, and it didn't. And I had to let it go for now. Nobody said it won't ever happen, but it was disappointing, and I had to express that it's disappointing and it's sad. But I got over it fairly quickly, you know, because I found the positives of where I am and where the journey as it's unfolding. I had to find the positives in that. So number 35, accept disappointments gracefully. And I'll just read your soul's journey and your soul's purpose, or your soul's lesson. Your soul's purpose right now is to shine a bright light on these juvenile behaviors so that you can see how they make things worse for you and those you love. Disappointments, they happen. You know, we don't need to jump up and down like a spoilt child. Just for now, see the positives of where you're at. And it doesn't mean that any disappointment on something that didn't happen or something that didn't unfold at this particular time, it doesn't mean that it's never going to unfold. But it's just not in the way you thought, in the way you saw it, or in the timing that you saw it happening. So your soul's lesson, calm your inner brat and exercise self-control. I told you these cards are strong. Self-control. Release your attachment to specific outcomes and be willing to concede graciously when the universe has another better plan. I had to do that. It's my house at the sea. And even going back to the sea, I'm not going back for the foreseeable future. And I can see the reason for that. It is better for me because it's so far away, and I still have commitments in 2 other counties in Ireland, and I'd be back to the old, driving, spending 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 days at the sea, and then having to pack my bag and come back and do work for somebody, or go back for 2 or 3 days and then go to somebody else. And I wasn't getting any physical work done. And because I left the sea and grounded myself where I am at the moment at my parents' in lockdown, I had no other choice. I made the choice to leave the sea, to be with them, to help them. But as it turned out, it was for my highest good as well, and yours, because I completed my book, my Onwards and Upwards book. It's on Amazon, Onwards and Upwards, but Google Mary Keena Donlan. Lots of my own personal journey in there as well, and lots of the lessons that we came to learn. Some family stuff belonged to me, and personal stuff that I won't share on public YouTube. Um, and then I made the ancestral healing videos, and I really enjoyed making them. And I wouldn't have been able to do that because my energy was unsettled, going over and back, over and back. Like, it wasn't a push pull, but you know, going over and back from one house to another. So now I'm really only in one house, and my daughter is the other house. And really, I just visit there. I was there on Tuesday and Wednesday. Saw my grandchildren for the first time since the 10th of March, and it was lovely, and oh, that's just so gorgeous. But no babysitting to be done there because there's nowhere to go, you know, and I can just visit and be granny, and you know, play with them and feed them and that for an hour here and there, and it was just lovely. So really, basically, all of me is in one house. I have some stuff, physical stuff, in my daughter's attic, but everything else belonged to me is here. So it kind of, you know, makes it brings more of my energy back to myself, and it stops me running over and back around the country, spending money that I don't need to spend, and being disjointed, basically. And as a friend of mine said, we are not going to be allowed to go back to the old way, and that was your old way. You know, I was splitting my energy as well. I didn't, like, I mean, I was grateful I was at the sea, and it was my place, and the sea and the noise of the sea every morning to wake up to. I do miss it, but I don't miss it big time, like a longing and a need, no codependency involved. So that's enough about me, but that's accept disappointments gracefully. Are you frustrated by things not going your way? Are you acting out your disappointment and feeling sorry for yourself in an immature manner and upsetting others when they don't do what you want them to do? Yes, it's hard to admit, but we all have a childish side that indulges in unattractive behaviour at times. You're only kidding yourself if you think it's a secret. Don't be embarrassed or defensive, though. Just be honest. Until you're open to the fact that a part of you acts out in an unflattering manner, you don't stand a chance of evolving this aspect of yourself. This doesn't mean that you should hang your head in shame. After all, no one is exempt from this. So it's letting your light shine on whatever I said recently or early on, and it can be that you can accept others more fully now by knowing this about them if they are acting out. And I do understand that, and I do, it's a mirror, do know it's mirroring myself, even though I don't do much of that now, but I did feel the disappointment, you know, but I didn't act out. I just kind of resisted it for a minute or two, or an hour or two, and so be it. Make no judgments, 39. Well, judging has been coming up a big time. Oh, did I show you the picture on the other card? Oh, it's here. There's the little girl acting out. And this one is making no judgments. So judging others, judging politicians, judging neighbours, judging people who don't wear masks, judging people who do wear masks, judging people who don't understand, judging people who don't think like you. An awful lot of that energy going on, and you probably see it around you, and we're not exempt from it ourselves. I do it within myself, but I don't throw it out at the person, but I know I catch myself in judgment mode within myself. So that's not healed yet. 39. 39. We see what she says here. Are you struggling with a person with whom you disagree? Are you feeling threatened or annoyed by the behaviour or beliefs of someone near you? Yes. Are you putting up with an individual who you feel might be less enlightened to you? Your soul is alerting you to avoid slipping into the righteous martyr syndrome, so review your circumstances in a more neutral light. You see, we are going to the core now. We are getting to the root and pulling out the root of all these old ways of being, all the patterns, all the belief systems, all the old judgment within us that came through the generations, that came through the religions, that came through the ancestors, that came through the nations that we live in and the world that we live in. So don't beat yourself up, but just work on letting it go. You know, oh, there's a full moon coming up on the 5th and an eclipse. So the energy will be getting strong as well, and fiery and volatile, I'm sure. Your soul is alerting you to avoid slipping into the righteous martyr syndrome, so review your circumstances in a more neutral light. Your soul's purpose right now is to refrain from self-righteously judging others. Don't see anyone as wrong simply because they don't share your view. Or don't see anybody as wrong because they just don't know what you know, and that they're looking outside themselves all the time and in the old way, because they haven't learned that there's a new way. And it's very difficult watching them and being in their company. Your soul's lesson is to open your mind and heart and understand that each person has his or her own path, but that ultimately all roads lead to Rome. Stop viewing the world through the lens of right and wrong, and don't attempt to force your views upon others. Listen to your higher self, respectfully allowing others to do the same. Who knows? You might even learn something. Okay, that's those two cards. I think I'll keep going on these because I think they're going on the one theme. And what else can we expect for the upcoming weeks, we'll say, even though it's for the week. But what do we need to focus on or be aware of that might be still in our energy? Put it that way. Split. Find your backbone, and that's about coming into your power. Assertively, not aggressively. Calmly, assertively, finding your backbone, being in your empowerment, and either letting other people know where you stand or taking action to step out or step away or step into the new and leave behind what doesn't serve you anymore. And it takes courage to do that, because we're all so used to the old and the patterns and the layers. There's so many layers to each pattern and each lesson. So number 9, oh yeah, I told you the backbone. She's very flexible there. Number 9. Find your backbone. Are you struggling with the idea of doing what's expected of you in the present situation? That is, are you remembering what you've been taught to do, say, and even think in order to win the approval of others, rather than going with what you really feel and want to do? Are you selling out for temporary flattery instead of gaining the self-respect that comes from being faithful and true to yourself? It takes courage. It takes backbone to be true to yourself. Now, not aggressively. This has to be done assertively and calmly and inwardly first. What is your true self's purpose? Are you pressured into playing nice and not being in touch with your truth because you're afraid of what you might face if you let your feelings be known? What should you do? On a soul level, there's only one answer, and that is find your backbone. Your soul's purpose right now is to be true to yourself and reclaim your personal integrity, no matter how frightening or costly it may be. I may not even put a weekly caption on this. I may just put it as a teaching video. It'll come to me anyway. Integrity, no matter how frightening or costly it may be. Honor and express your true feelings regardless of the outcome, and develop the character and courage to face opposition. Your soul's lesson is to stick to your convictions in a non-aggressive, loving, grounded way, no matter how unfamiliar or scary it may be, even at the risk of great loss or painful disapproval from others. Just recognize the fear you face as an illusion that's keeping you from living a fully empowered life. Find your backbone. It will be worth the effort. Something came to me there. What was it? From others. Just recognize your fear. No. Oh yeah. Even at a risk of great loss or painful disapproval from others. Like, you might think you're going to lose somebody or something, but you're not. It needs to go in the form it's gone. If it's a person, it needs to leave in the present form if it's not bringing you to happiness. Your patterns need to leave in their present form if they're not bringing you to a place of calm and peace and joy and happiness. So what needs to leave in its present form to oh no, I thought it was a vein, to bring you to a place of peace and empowerment and passion and love and joy and happiness. You know, what is holding you back and how you're dealing with stuff. Change it. Okay? One more. No, I want to go in here. Seek hidden treasure. Digging deep and you'll find the treasure. You'll find the true you. Look at that. It's like a jungle that you have to make your way through and untangle a maze or a mess, as I spoke about last. No, I didn't. Did I speak about? I spoke about in my ancestral healing video. No more messes to be cleaned up. I've cleaned too many of them. I'm not going to make any more messes to be cleaned up. So seek hidden treasure. In what area of your life could you be taking people or things far too much at face value? Where could you be guilty of missing something deeper or being told that you don't get it? Where are you in such a hurry that you're jumping to conclusions before fully studying the situation? So this could bring us back to the judgment card. And most important, where could you be too quick to dismiss others, projecting your fears onto them rather than seeing them in an accurate light? Your soul's purpose right now is to slow down and take a deeper look at the present situation. Overcome your tendency to judge too quickly, and miss what's really true. Beyond the surface, the life lies hidden treasure, and we must see these people as souls on a journey like us, and they wouldn't be in our energy if they weren't there to teach us something, or vice versa, or to trigger us into healing something or letting go or coming more into compassion and non-judgment. So if they're in your life, they're there for a reason. Judge too quickly. Beyond the surface of life lies hidden treasure. Your soul's lesson right now is to be open-minded and learn all you can before reaching your conclusions. Take your time, study the facts fully, and listen deeply from your heart. Look for the connecting rather than the separating factors when evaluating others and your place in their life. Dispel any notion that you're better, smarter, or more deserving, powerful, or entitled than others. And we had that in one of the cards too, and I would say I am guilty of that every now and again too, that I know this and this person doesn't know it, and why don't they know it, and it all goes on within me. I don't express it out, but it's something I need to let go of, certainly. So dispel any notion that you're better, smarter, or more deserving just because we're on a spiritual path. More deserving, more powerful, or entitled than others, or they than you. Accept that the people in your life are direct reflections of you, exactly what I said. Where there's light, see your glow, and where there's shadow, see your gloom. And with some people in my life, it's the old me I'm looking at, but they are triggering. One situation triggered me into the final root of codependency last week or the week before, and I thought I'd let that go, but I hadn't, because I was repeating this. I was doing a pattern that I didn't realize was a repeating pattern, because I was talking to myself. I was justifying it. I was saying it was for a different reason that I was taking these actions. And sure, it was the same. It was codependency. So this person that I'm looking at in my life and their codependent actions and reactions triggered me to go into the root of my codependence, because I said I don't want to be like that, and I don't want to be doing stuff like that, because that was the old me, but there was still a bit of it left within me. So I just hope and pray, and I think and I know I've let go, pulled out the last root of codependency. No need, no longing, no wondering what anybody is doing, no wanting them in your life, lovingly want to share stuff with them, but not a deep need or longing or a wanting them to come and be with you or to be there. And even like the sea, I had to let it go, and there's no big longing. I know I can see it, I can go up during the summer, but I don't, it's not a big I miss you so much seaside. And my grandson would have been the other. Oh God, the other big love, and other big love in my life. And I saw him the other day, and the first thing he said, I miss you, Granny, I miss you, Granny. And I had no big longing or missing. I worked through it. I did at the beginning. I don't, I'm not going to be able to hug him. But I worked through it through lockdown. And now it's okay. It's okay. I know I'll see him, but there's no big need and want to be in his company. So I don't know whether you understand me or not, but it is the root of my codependency anyway, this needing and longing and wanting people to be in your life and wanting to be in touch with people who may not want to be in touch with you, you know. And it's a stark realization that we have to come to at some stage, and you feel like, what could possibly be wrong with me? Why are they not seeing the true me? You know, because that wasn't the true me. This needy, longing, wishing, wanting, overpowering person was not the true me. You know, that's not what souls do. So, okay, I will leave it at that. I think people in your life are direct reflections of you. Where there's light, see your glow, and where there's shadow, see your gloom. Stop fighting them and start loving us. We're all in this game of life together, so see your role as a player as important and not special. Respect others as equals, and you'll soon see deeply into life. Oh, big lessons. And it's certainly coming up for me. Now, will I finish on let me see, a goddess card, I think. Oh, that's the box. Hold on. Ah, okay, sorry. I'm on the floor, as you can see. Right, the goddess card. Last week we had, I don't know who we had. During the week I pulled Mother Mary, Expect a Miracle for myself, and Yamanya, Golden Opportunities, doors opening, important doors, and step through them. I have done a lot of releasing and letting go and making decisions and feeling energies, and I've moved a bit further than I was last week, but there's still a bit of all of that stuck in me. And a goddess jumped out. Isis, past life. This situation involves your past life memories. Now, it could be, for me, it's this present life and the memories that I closed the door on, the dynamics, put it that way, that I closed the door on. I don't want to do those dynamics anymore. I don't want to be that person anymore. I want to be new. But the fear of the new, I didn't realize it was within me until last night. And I stepped in front of the door I closed and I said, I definitely don't want to go through that door again. Fine. And I moved to another door, and there was fear of the new, and fear of who would come through the door and what they would be like and what their new self would be like, and the fear of falling back into the old and opening that old door again. I don't want that to happen again. I don't want those old dynamics to play out. And that fear was stuck in me. And I wasn't ready to face it until last night, really. And I made a decision, and I said, I'm ready for that door to open. And I asked for a dream to maybe give me more guidance and help. And I had a dream. And it did help. So either somebody that you were with in a past parallel life, or in this present life that you've finished your old dynamics with this person or this situation or this job and or house or place or person or dynamics, that you're finished with that and you're moving into the new, and have no fear. But you'll get there. Like, I didn't get there until last night. This new door, I had to give permission for it to open, but I didn't open it. I will let the universe send whatever has to be sent through the door. I won't be putting my hand on it and opening. Having said that, I'm thinking back to another vision I had, and I stepped into a new house, and this big bright light in it, and it was all new, but I didn't go any further, and it wasn't fear. I just said I don't feel the need to go in and explore in that bright light yet. I felt I would bask in the white healing light because I had bodily issues going on. So that's something I had forgotten about, and it only happened maybe 2 weeks ago, so I may explore that a bit more fully too. So Isis, past life memories, or this present life past that you don't want to repeat and that you're finishing off once and for all. Solace, bodies of water. Spend time near water such as a lake, river, or the ocean to recharge your batteries. And healing with water, but she is also, the water is wrapped around her and she's letting it out through her hands. So healing through the hands, healing in nature, drinking more water, anything to do with water. And solace, spelt SOLAS in our Irish Gaelic language, means light. Turn on the light, loss on solace. So that's another meaning to that card too. Bodies of water. So your body needs water too. Another message for me. And spend time near the water to recharge your batteries. Sea salt baths. I may take a trip to the beach 2 hours away from where I am, but I am trying to pick a date to get up there to incorporate my haircut with it as well. I like the hairdresser up there as well, so I have to try and get a date that suits me and her, plus everybody around me here, that I'm not needed to be anywhere for anybody on a particular day. I will just drive up and drive back. I won't be staying overnight. And you can, with the long days, I can do that. I can leave here at 7 a.m. and be up there by 9 and not leave up there till 7 p.m. and be back here at 9 p.m. You know, so it's doable. Of course it is, because we're allowed to go outside our county again from last Monday, which is good. Slowly but surely, we're doing okay over here in Ireland. So far, so good. We have a new government, and we have a new, what do you call him? Health officer. He was with us all the way through COVID, every day on TV, all the guidance, and now he stepped down because his wife is ill. She's had cancer since 2012, and now she's in palliative care. So he needs to be there. And how he did all of that and stayed so steady and steered the ship in Ireland through COVID is beyond me. A great, great man. And of course, there are people who judge everybody, and there are people that I thought Ireland and our government did a great job. And now we've changed governments as well. We had an election in February, and they formed their government last weekend. Excuse me. So we have a new government, a lot of new faces. So that is interesting, just before eclipse season and just before the full moon, all that change in Ireland. It has to be for the better, but you have no idea whether it's going to look worse than better first. You know the story. Things have to get bad before they get better, but I hope not. So I think I'll leave it at that. I don't think I need another goddess, or do I? I'll just choose the top of the deck. Green Tara, start delegating. Ask others, including Green Tara, to help you instead of trying to do everything yourself. If that's the situation you're in, ask for help. Other people are well able to do jobs. If you're taking responsibilities that other people can do away from them, give them back to them. You know, maybe you were helping somebody during COVID. You need to step back, like him, like the chief medical officer. He had to step back. He did what he could during that time, and he kept the ship steered. And maybe you have been doing the same. Now it's your time to let go of some of the balls that you were throwing in the air and spend your time near water. Like, it's not me. What I told you about, going and coming and driving, that was the old, and I haven't been doing it during COVID. So maybe it's the same for you, the old life before COVID. What do you want to keep in it, and what do you want to stop doing? And delegating. But the universe will have helped during that, because maybe the people that you weren't doing for during COVID because you weren't allowed, will have come to conclusions themselves and started helping themselves. Because people get used to the familiar, and if you do this, this and this every week, people get used to it. They don't think for themselves, and it keeps going as long as you keep it going. But now COVID might have stopped that merry-go-round and changed it. So do you want to go back into that dynamics, or don't you? Delegate, look after you, and watch what you're taking on that you don't really want to take on again. The dynamics that you want to change and close the doors on. As I say, full circle, just like a reading, sometimes we come around to where we started at the end. So I'll leave it at that. Talk to you soon again. You have my website details below, and take care.